Stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I am an author, an addiction recovery coach, a life coach, and host of this show, To Take Your Life Back Today radio show. You can see a video version of this if you go to YouTube under the channel, Take Your Life Back Today show. Estranged families. Do we have them? Most of us do. Being estranged from a relative comes with myths and stigma. But it's more common, and in some cases, it can be healthier than you might even think. Friends, it's often said that love brings people together, but it can also split families apart. If you are on one side loving too much and the other side just doesn't seem to care. Experience of disconnection from any family is far from unusual. More than 40% of study participants had experienced family estrangement at some point in their lifetime. Friends, family estrangement has been defined as distance and loss of affection that happens over the years or even decades within a family. It isn't clear if such estrangement is on the rise since it's a relatively young field of research. But it is common. Research by Stand Alone, a charity that supports people who are estranged from relatives, suggests that estrangement affects at least 1 in 5 families. One U.S. study of more than 2,000 mother/father-child pairs found that 10% of mothers/fathers were currently estranged from at least one of their children. And a U.S. study found that more than 40% of participants had experienced family estrangement at some point, suggesting that in certain groups, such as U.S. college students, estrangement may be almost as common as divorce. Estrangement is more commonly discussed now than any time in the past. Stand Alone founder Becca Bland, who has personal experience of estrangement as she has no contact with her parents, has also noticed that the topic is much more discussed now than it has been in the last 5 years. This is born out of Google Trends data showing steady growth in people searching for estrangement related terms primarily in Canada, Australia, and Singapore. Friends, I think Meghan Markle and the royal family have definitely made family estrangement news, says Bland. Sorry about that, those are emails coming in. The Duchess of Sussex, who in 2018 was the most Googled person in the UK and second most Googled person in the US, has driven recent conversations around complex families due to her own difficult relationships with her father. So have other celebrities like Anthony Hopkins, who acknowledged in 2018 interview that he's barely spoken with his daughter in 2 decades. Celebrity gossip can be a useful way for ordinary people to process and explain their own life experiences. You might also like to look up though examples of estrangement can be found around the globe. It's more common in some societies than others. You might want to Google some of the estrangement things. And here, I want to talk about how in our own families, in my family especially, and I'm sure you have that in your family, no matter how much a parent tries to help their child, no matter how much they go out of their way to make things better for their child, for some reason or another, comes up with every excuse not to be around them. They prefer texting over phone calls. They prefer no visual contact, no verbal contact. They prefer pen pals. So, at what point do parents, grandparents, distance themselves from their children? I truly believe in tough love. And tough love requires that we are tough to show our love. So if you're out there and you're a mother or father who maybe went through a divorce and the other person that you were married to totally brainwashed your child and maybe brought up their child, our child, to think that you are the worst of the worst when you know deep down inside it's not true, that child will go through their life believing what either the mom or the dad, whoever had custody of the child, had told him. And there's nothing you can do. However, my recommendation to you is to keep trying. Most of us have for year after year, but at one point or another, you have to stop. You have to leave the estranged relative to be estranged for the good of yourself, because positive vibes give positive results in your own life. So if you're out there and you have these issues, please do whatever you can to a certain point, and then maybe just walk away for the better for yourself. Because too many times the person that keeps trying, and the person that doesn't seem to care, the person that keeps trying is the one that's going to be disappointed, hurt, and probably build up more anger towards the person that they're trying to constantly help. So with that said, please, parents, mother and dad, if you're going through a divorce, whoever has custody, only talk good about the other person. Bring out the positives about the other person. Don't bring the other person down. Build that person up. Because when you knock the other person, God forbid something should happen to you as the custody parent, and the other person gets that child was so brainwashed at that point that they won't want a relationship with their mom or their dad who didn't have custody. So for the good of the child, and for the love of the child, and because God directs us to do that, please build the husband or wife that you're no longer with up, instead of bringing them down to your child over and over and over and over and over, and making up lie after lie after lie to make yourself look better, or to maybe even cushion why that person left. We need to start being positive with our children and bring our children up the right way. And if you're out there and you don't have custody, the same applies to you. Don't bring down the other parent that does have custody of your child. Build them up. Bring out the positives. Because at one point, either way, you both loved each other. With that said, estrangement is often gradual but reflects long-lived tension. So, if you feel that it's never going to change, walk away. Because even if triggers seem to be trivial, they reflect long-lived tension. Families looking to reconcile should recognize that conflicts are unlikely to be just about isolated incidents. It's probably because it's been inflicted for year after year after year. I'll be praying for whoever has these issues out there. And if you want to give me a call, 844-405-HELP, because you and I, we can help each other. We can take our lives back today. And if you're the child and your parents are going through a divorce, do not allow one parent, whoever you're living with, to bring down the other parent, and vice versa. When you're visiting your other parent, don't let them talk bad about your mom, your dad that you live with. Tell them that you don't want to hear it. And shame on any parent that's watching me that does this and brings down the other parent for the sake of making themselves look good, because God is truly watching you. And God will judge you, and God will punish you. May God bless each and every one of you, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Take good care, and remember, God loves all of us, even the people that might be doing exactly what I've been saying, because there is hope for all of us. If you're doing it, stop, turn to God, and God will help you. Take good care, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.